What's up, everybody? D-Man back. Welcome to a brand new video, and today we're going to be doing another Godzilla vs. Kong story pitch video. If you hear a constant squeaking throughout the background of this video, I don't know what to tell you. I can't make it stop. Something inside my computer is squeaking. I've taken it apart trying to find what's squeaking and I can't find it, and it's driving me crazy. So we all are gonna have to bear with it here, if you guys can even hear it. So in this one, we are gonna be doing a 3.5 to my Godzilla vs. Kong video. I'm actually recording this like a month after I recorded the original stuff because I wanted to do an add-on. I don't know. I just felt that a lot of people were going to be a little underwhelmed with how little of the Godzilla and Kong fight I outlined in my pitch video. So I decided to put together a 3.5 in which I detail the entire Godzilla vs. Kong fight, how I would handle their fight on Skull Island. So I guess spoilers for my version of Godzilla vs. Kong. If you didn't watch parts 1 through 3, go watch them and then come back. If you already did, then you're good to go. Yeah, so this is basically just the entire fight. This is how I would do the fight. I did borrow a little bit from the Godzilla 2014 novelization just because I liked the descriptive details, so I wanted to steal them. Yeah, this is just a completely fleshed out version of the fight. I don't exactly know how I want to do this video. It probably won't be nearly as heavily edited as the regular pitch videos. I imagine that I'm simply going to use a still image on screen and it'll just kind of be like a podcast and you're just going to have to listen, but I don't know. I'm not entirely sure how I want to edit this. Anyways, this is Godzilla vs. Kong Round 1 Extended. Let's jump into it. Kong sprints onto a white sand beach when he feels a rumbling in the ground. He looks around confused and loses track of the apex osprey in the process. Kong's gaze falls upon the sea where he sees a massive wave barreling towards him. At the crest of the wave, 3 rows of sharp dorsal spines protrude from the water. The wave catches up to the aircraft carrier. The soldiers on deck brace for impact. A red alert is sounded and a distress call is signaled to Monarch. The wave collides with the ship and sends it hurtling towards the island. The aircraft carrier makes contact with the ocean floor. Its momentum slows as it crashes into the shallows. Many of the men on deck are killed in the process. The wave washes ashore, sending a small tsunami onto the island. The tsunami doesn't make much progress as it's stopped by the large hills on the island. Kong watches as a Goliath's form takes shape under a mounting wave. A colossal form rose from the sea like a living waterfall, hundreds of feet tall. The immense shape was surrounded by torrents of cascading water and foam, making it difficult to make out more than its gargantuan proportions. Kong closes his fists and scowls in anger. He puffs his chest and advances towards the invasive creature. The Titan propels himself upward through the water until he rises above the aircraft carrier below him. He then makes contact with it and brings himself to his feet. The ship cracks under his weight and is compressed into the ground. The Titan shakes the water off his back and head. He peers up to see an alpha predator taking position across from him on the aircraft carrier. The Titan squints at the defender of Skull Island. Kong continues his advance. Nothing will stop him. Each step Kong takes on the aircraft carrier causes it to buckle under his weight. The Titan recognizes his new rival. This is the only other alpha left on the planet. At one point, there were many of these creatures, but now there's just the one. The Titan understands this species is his enemy. He has fought others like Kong before, but this one is different. Without Kong, the Hollow Earth is left unprotected. They need one another to maintain balance. The Titan is resistant to attack. His reservations show through as Kong picks up speed. The Titan attempts to show dominance over his opponent. A thundering primordial roar bellows across miles and miles of open sea. Kong stopped. His anger reached boiling point as he recognized the intruder as Godzilla, King of the Monsters. This was the alpha that sent death to Skull Island. This was the alpha that failed to prevent the mass awakening. This was the alpha to blame. Kong pounded his chest with fury and let out a blood-curdling roar that rattled the bones of all who heard it, including Godzilla. With the intimidation display out of the way, Kong lunged towards Godzilla and greeted him with a right hook more powerful than the fury of 1,000 storms. That's a bit dramatic. The aircraft carrier crumbled under the weight and the motion of the monsters. Godzilla toppled over, falling into the water. Kong was partially swallowed by the ship as it gave way underneath his feet. Kong quickly recovered, pulling himself onto the remains of the vessel. Godzilla looked up at Kong, who charged at him and twisted rapidly through the water. Godzilla's tail made contact with the ape and sent him flying onto the island. Godzilla twisted back around, now fully enraged, and roared once more. Kong picked himself up and brushed the sand off his face. Godzilla engaged Kong on the island, already feeling feeling worn out. The king of the monsters lunged towards Kong, trying to grab a hold of the ape while using his massive upper body strength to his advantage. Kong quickly combat rolled to the side of Godzilla before leaping into the air to meet him with another fist. Godzilla stumbled back and watched as Kong went for a left cross. Godzilla ducked under Kong's arm and rammed into him. The two monsters tumbled their way further inland. You know, I try to be as detailed as possible, but there's a whole bunch going on. I'm not even talking about what's going on with Apex and Monarch during this sequence, and I don't want to waste too much time or be way over descriptive here, so here's our little summary portion. They proceed to punch for a bit, and you get the point. Godzilla isn't able to keep up with Kong. Kong uses boulders to his advantage, you know, what he does in Kong Skull Island. Uses boulders to his advantage while Godzilla powers through it all with his resistance. Godzilla's way more durable than anything Kong has ever fought before, so Kong's having a real tough time trying to get through, trying to damage Godzilla, but at the same time, as I mentioned in the pitch video, Godzilla is weakened at this point, so he's not able to go toe-to-toe with Kong the way he once would have been. They make their way towards Outpost 33. Now we'll catch back up with a little bit more description. Kong watches as Godzilla plants himself in the ground. Godzilla's tail rises up. His dorsal fins flicker to life. A blue light emanates from them. The light slowly builds up Godzilla's back. Kong is confused by the light, but chooses to ignore it. Kong speeds up. He climbs a cliff and leaps into the air, ready to pound Godzilla's head. As he catapults through the air, Godzilla takes a deep breath and exhales a pure concentration of atomic energy. Godzilla's atomic breath strikes Kong, shooting him out of the air. Kong falls backwards into a cliff and looks around, dazed. Godzilla towers over him and unleashes another stream of atomic breath. This breath hits Kong point blank in the face, knocking him out. Godzilla knows Kong isn't the Titan that sent out the call he's responding to. Kong isn't capable of making that noise. Godzilla scans the island and spots Outpost 33. He investigates the outpost and discovers Mechagodzilla. Godzilla examines the mech and becomes furious with humanity. The same creatures that built the Orca and fired the oxygen destroyer have now built a Titan of their own. The creatures that nearly killed him and cost him the opportunity to rid the world of Ghidorah have now taken a huge step towards playing God. Suddenly, Godzilla starts to tremble. It's as if the devil on his shoulder has been amplified. All his reasoning falls to the side as rage fills his blood. The only thing he knows now is anger and instinct. Any higher intelligence had been silenced suddenly and abruptly. Godzilla shakes his head and tries to get a grip on the situation. Before he can, a vicious roar bellows from behind him. Godzilla turns around to see Kong approaching with a massive tree in hand. Kong brings the tree down across Godzilla like a bat. He clubs the king of the monsters repeatedly with it before climbing up onto Godzilla's back. Kong attempts to restrain Godzilla by using the remainder of the tree to gag him. Godzilla bites through the tree and throws Kong off his back. I'm not talking about like Kong shoving the tree down Godzilla's throat like he does in 62. It's kind of that, but you know, it's like a gag, right? Like this kind of deal. Something a little more like that, kind of gagging Godzilla with it. Godzilla bites straight through it. Once again, Godzilla bites through the tree and throws Kong off his back, picks him up and throws him. Godzilla stumbles forward, injured and nearly collapses. Kong grabs Godzilla by the tail and goes to lift and swing him when Godzilla flicks his tail out, sending Kong falling backwards. Kong recovers quickly and attacks Godzilla. Kong punches Godzilla in the head multiple times, harming him. Kong takes Godzilla's head and smashes it against a mountain. He then climbs Godzilla's back once more and tries to break Godzilla's jaw. Godzilla resists Kong. The two fight further inland and Godzilla makes his way towards the Hollow Earth entry point. Kong realizes Godzilla has made a beeline towards the Iwi and starts to panic. He starts to lay into Godzilla relentlessly. Godzilla charges his atomic energy once more. Kong, looking to avoid getting shot by the atomic breath, climbs around Godzilla before attempting to wrestle him to the ground. Godzilla puffs up before releasing the remainder of his atomic energy outward through his skin. The burst fires off in a sphere of blue energy that sends a scorched Kong flying through the air. The nuclear pulse vaporizes everything within nearly a half-mile radius of Godzilla, and it severely injures Kong, who crashes into the ground while smoking. Godzilla seizes this opportunity to escape Skull Island through the massive Hollow Earth vent that had been opened by the Skull Crawlers. Kong rolls over and tries to pull himself to his feet. He looks out where the Iwi village used to be and sees a barren wasteland of smoke. The Iwi are gone. The divine rage in Kong isn't enough to drive him into the Hollow Earth. He is unable to chase Godzilla. He passes out. Kong collapses face down with tears leaving his enormous eyes. And that's that. That is the extended cut of the first fight between Godzilla and Kong. So I tried to get some 62 references in there. I tried to do my due diligence to the franchise. Is that the right term to use? I don't think it is. Whatever. I used it. That's that though. That's the video. I hope you enjoyed. I just wanted to give you guys the bit more of the extended fight that no one actually asked for, but I was very convinced people were going to ask for, so I went, sure, why not? And I wrote the extended fight and had a lot of fun doing it. I kind of tried to write it a little bit like a novel, but not exactly. I don't know. It was fun. I don't know if I'll do this again for their final fight that takes place in the part 4 that we're going to get to next week, but maybe I will. I don't know. It's up to you guys. If you guys really like this video, I'll do another one, but if you guys are not as into this, I won't feel the need to. So that's that. Thank you guys all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I will see you guys next time for the next one. D-Man. out.